Soul Clan.
What up, lovers? What's going on, guys?
As you can tell, we are not in our usual vibrant, happy spirits.
Yeah, life hit us just a tad bit, so
Yeah.
we thought maybe we should also be able to share this experience with you guys as well. We should be able to tap in and not just document the good times, but also the hard and tough times as well. I mean, why do we call you family if we're just going to be happy with you guys and we're just going to be all good and mellow and no, it has to be real.
So this past Monday, I lost my uncle, my dad's baby brother.
So it's your small dad.
So ke rangwani.
Yeah,
ka Sepedi ke rangwani wa ka. Babumncane ngesiZulu, tatomncinci ngesiXhosa,
small dad in English.
Small dad in English. I lost him this past Monday. We lost him this past Monday.
Yeah.
And he was like the most gentle, amazing soul. A week didn't go by without him calling and checking up on me and Lou and Lulibo. He'd call more than we would call. He would make sure everything is fine in our lives. He had speared my lobola negotiations.
Yeah, and he gave me quite a lovely welcome as well. He was, I feel for the family members, he was the most excited to see everything happen and go down. He was very jolly.
So it's a big knock to the family. He was admitted last week at Osindi Sweni Hospital in Durban. What makes it more emotional and makes me very angry and the family at large is that he died of hospital negligence. He was admitted with no proper diagnosis of what was wrong. Upon admission, he was not seen by any doctor until I think it was the 9th or 8th day. They gave him TB medication. And
how do they even decide that it's TB?
The nurses were like, they don't know what is wrong with him, so they figure it's an infection, so they're going to give him TB medication. When admitting him, they did take a COVID test, and his results came back negative. So he wasn't COVID positive. So in that, they then just gave him TB meds because they didn't know what was wrong, and there was no attending physician or attending doctor until the 8th or 9th day. His food, they literally would put his food by the door, and he would have to walk to go get his food. And this is him now texting my dad and my aunt, now telling them that this is what's going on in this hospital, and I'm not being fed constantly. The pills they leave on the side of the bed, and I have to figure myself out as to how to get them or how to drink them.
That's disgusting.
The most tormenting part is that his ward was opposite a psychiatric ward, and this ward has no door. So he was always bothered by the patients from that ward. I don't understand how.
How do they do that though?
My
but
dad.
There's no security.
To
check and make sure.
Nothing.
Didn't he say there's a night where he didn't sleep?
Yeah, he wasn't sleeping most of the nights. My dad, my aunt, my sister drove to Durban because now they were trying to get him out of the hospital in change to another one. They had to make calls, get the higher powers in, try change his ward at least. They managed to change his ward. They managed to get him into a different ward. Now that my dad and my sister and my aunt were going mad and riling up the entire place, they then called in a doctor. And the doctor comes in and looks at his chart and is like, his lungs are finished. But nobody can actually even tell you why his lungs are finished. What's wrong with his lungs? They're not giving you a descriptive of what's going on in the x-ray. Nothing. They take another COVID test. They say he's COVID positive now.
That's one day after they took the test.
Oh, that's one day after they took the negative. The negative. So it's not possible, you know. And the higher powers that came in are like, that is not possible. It's impossible for a COVID patient to be in a non-isolation room, where the nurses were just coming in and out as they please when they wanted to, with no proper gear for it, like PPEs or stuff like that. But now all of a sudden he's COVID positive, so that's not possible. This doctor came in once because they were the higher powers, and they were like, if we want to take him, we can take him, but he can't travel with the nurse, nor can he travel with the oxygen tank, and stuff like that. So he was just moved to a different ward, because now it's like we can't take him out of the oxygen, you know. But then we were promised that he'll be treated properly. And my sister, my aunt, and my dad were there for the entire weekend last week, and they came back on Sunday, and they came back in high spirits that he'll be okay. They spoke to the nurses, matrons. They moved him to a different ward. He'll now be fed properly. They will give us a diagnosis of what's wrong. He'll be seen by the doctor again. And Monday morning, we then got a call saying he's no longer.
And they were with him on Sunday, and he was absolutely fine. He seemed fine.
When they call, they don't tell us time of death. They don't tell us anything. They're just like, okay, your patient is no longer. What made me even more angry, my uncle has little children. And they called to check as well how their dad was doing, and they were just given an answer of, oh, did you guys not hear? For me, that was also very low and careless of a hospital to do. I'm under the thing that Osindisweni Hospital in Durban rather took my uncle's life. More than anything.
It was negligence.
It was negligence.
I mean, why and how? You ask so many questions, and obviously there's so many procedures that should have been followed, probably weren't followed. And this is somebody's life.
How does somebody come into a hospital and becomes more sick than...
And I feel like this is happening more and more and more.
In our country, it really is.
Because a lot of people, like, hospitals really aren't doing best for our people, and people are in a safer space, rather trying to get healing at home than actually in hospitals. So I don't know what's going on, I don't know what's happening, but these are people's lives that are taken away. These are actual beings that are taken away. So this is sad.
What pains me is that my cousins lost their mother like a year ago, and now my uncle, and now they're having to be split because some of them are from my aunt's side, like outside of marriage, and my uncle, but they were all such a family unit eventually, and now they're having to split. That's the joys of also having family as well. So it will keep them together, and we'll keep them pushing and keeping them strong. So we also have to be strong for them as well. But I feel like we should check on our family, guys. It's an awful time. And when faced with such crisis, before you guys, I know it's hard, cry, but also come back to sanity to try deal with this in a proper way. Like, my family has opened a case for negligence, And this week a whole post-mortem is being done.
Yeah.
And you have to come back and think straight. So if ever your family is faced with such, don't just go with all your emotions and forget that somebody else might go through this if you don't take the right procedures. So my ask is, just if you guys ever happen, I pray none of you go through this. It's so painful. And if you do, in this current system and climate our country is at, be strong enough to question and do what's right.
Definitely get help. That's what it is.
So that's it from us.
That's our heart, guys. And
Bangwani, we love you, and
rest in peace, a giant.
Rest in God.
A gentle giant. Lovely example of how to get your message across. You don't need to be loud, just be gentle.
Yeah, that's what he was.
And be love.
Yeah.
And show love. And just protect the unit, protect family.
Yeah.
And family over anything and everything.
Family over everything.
Yeah.
That's what he was, and that's what will continue. I'm gonna miss your calls, my God.
Yeah.
Anywho, with all love, signing out. At Lady Love Bhagwan.
At Luda_03.
Love you all.
Bye, guys.
I will always love you how I do. Let go of a prayer for you. Just a sweet word